and just picking up good peel. And again, taking it away as well from Cram.
It just means that RORA is going to be playing towards the gold side of their map, right? Because they don't know what the Lapu-Lapu is going to deal with. He's kind of going in blind into this draft. So whether he quote-unquote wins the matchup or not isn't really up to him.
And I think SRG can also just pick up the Uranus so that he can kind of stop this imminent usage and threat.
But what if it is going to be utility for Aurora, though? I mean, they are going to be lacking the vision, and the Mountain Shocker would be great against a Zetian. Yes, I will say it now. Eastern is the most likely pick. But what if it is utility? What if they are looking at Lapu-Lapu and Kali thinking we have enough physical, let's set up for our magic damage dealers and let's pick up utility in the jungle.
What's left? SRG here, lock in the CC for Cram and the Gatot for Yums. What utilities left besides the Barats and the Akai? Even Guinevere got banned.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Just give me my Panda. I mean, yeah, again, Wise is most likely, but just give me my Panda.
Because I'm also 50-50 on this.
Prepare for the return.
There it is! There it is! We alluded to it! Oh, we're pretty good at this. We could be analysts.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Again, really good call.
This will be legendary. This will determine who makes it to the grand finals first. Mirko and Naisu set the stage for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the last game of the evening. We've had a hell of a series, and now it's come down to this, a game of 5 to get to the grand final. Will it be the first ever for the Malaysians to make it an M-Series grand final, or will it be RORA to make it their way to be the first Filipino team in M7 to get to the grand final spot? Here we are, it's me, Naisu, and Mirko to bring you this game 5.
And either way, Naisu, what a story. The first Malaysian team to make it to a World Championship, or AURORA Gaming Philippines, a team coming into this tournament with a narrative of the chokers, the ones who always fail when it matters most, the one that finally gets to shine the brightest in the world stage.
Be massive either way, man. The story couldn't be better for either team to make it through, and you know, to even go through this draft and bring an Akai, for example, a utility hero that doesn't get picked up pretty much at all. But because of the way the draft and the bans went, and because there was a really hard focus on Demon Kite's utility picks, he goes to the Akai. And you always have to remember, like, this hero alone could either work for your team or against it.
Okay. I thought it was going to be a big miscalculation there, not hitting level 4, but he ends up getting the XP crab anyways, so really, it's all good. Emblems-wise, I don't think there's anything too crazy here, right? Yeah. It really looks like just the standard stuff. The Impure Rage for Demon Kite. I guess he's just thinking there's not going to be any invades. He's going to be fine because he's up against a Leomord, not an assassin, right? Sky's Phantom Steed over on Light has the flicker, will use it, and now Phantom Steed is down, so AURORA have a chance.
Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Even though the flicker was used by Light, Turtle's up, Demon Kite's going to go ahead and start it up. Cram hitting that level 4 too, so they'll get in position for the first turtle of the game, but without a Phantom Seed, this might be a little difficult.
And all in over on Yums, Fury of the Phoenix coming down, 4-man stun as well. Cram now from the side, pops in the current call, does a bit of damage over the Demon Kite, but the red tree is there for him to claim Turtle 1.
It's all they need, clean and steady right now. First objective secured. Nothing too fancy with this kind of lineup. That's not what you're gonna see here. Now for SRG, they might be the ones to be a little more aggressive because of the fact that they brought the Leomord in play, plus they have the Zetian that they can rely on. And again, Innocent going on this hero that he's played so many times, is able to go ahead and scale up really well on this Claude. The same can be said for Demon Kite. There was a thing, you know, back in the MPL Philippines, he was the best Harith in the league and probably the best still. So this is such a great matchup, you know, that Harith, that Claude that we've been seeing so much throughout the Swiss stage. And even now, even though he was kind of slept on a little bit in the beginning stage of the knockouts, Claude is still a menace to deal with. And so with that, again, you're just going to see a whole lot of poking back and forth. You know, this is a little bit different too because we've seen so much of Cho, for example, where you're playing around that level 4, the Kaleas, right, the pick-off potential.
He's going to be caught on the Raging Sandstorm there. Good timing by Doming. They're actually waiting around the BMI, and he actually gets the resets too. So I'm not even sure if Innocent actually got the gold crab, but he lost that on Purify, and now he's low.
Yeah, he's low right here. He's gonna have to rely on SRG just in case they need to support him up here. in that gold lane, but Domain Kite fine. Unless they go for something else. SRG might be looking for a play elsewhere. They still have 30 seconds for that turtle to be up. Demon Kite, again, tanky enough. One of the players that still really likes to lean towards utility junglers if they can. I mean, we saw a really good kind of back and forth between the utility compositions, but teams were still pretty much, I would say like almost 80% of the time, maybe 90% of the time, pick up assassin junglers. Demon Kite, a specialist, I would say, as utility jungle. So buff secured, turtles up, second one of the game. Aurora Gaming Philippines already in position. Light has the angle here if he wants to go for it. Traction pulse.
Yeah, lands on Stormy, a bit more pro coming down as the Bravest Fighter gets used up by Edward. Now with the stun on 2. Fury of the Phoenix as well. Sky's looking for the opening now, but Demon goes in and it's giving the retry win. He goes for the heavy spin. Now Sky's gonna be pinned down over the turtle.
Oh, Sakai's pinned down, can't get away. First blood to Demon Kite and the second turtle.
What a pin up top. Domain gets a shot down. Oh my goodness, he might be going for the dive, but he misses the synchro vision and he calls it quits. Demon Kite up top with the pressure. This is the systematic Aurora Gaming Philippines in a game 5, bro. They went back to their comfort.
This is back to the roots, right? That, oh no, Yums, is he gonna get zoned in here?
The escape. I don't think RORA want to bite on this pick, yeah. Instead, they rotate back. They just go for the turret now. That's going to be the shots coming in from Stormy as Demon Kite gets taken low, but Selangor Red Giants can't push in forward.
They had to do that, though. At least Yums was there to go ahead and keep that turret alive, even though it just got a sliver of health left. They keep that going. Now, looking at the itemization here, first item's already locked in for the gold laners, DHS for Innocent. You got the starting up sight now for Domain Kite. Defensively, too, things being a whole lot of tough boots, of course, to deal with that crowd control, but only that Fury Hammer, and still Sakai is working on that first item here for this Leo Mord. And same thing, I mean, Stormy on the Sentinel, whoa, they're not stopping.
1v1, BMI out with the Blazing Wind already used. Light now comes in with damage, raging Sandstorm from Light. The Fury of the Phoenix catches him on their turret, so at least there's a trade as Demon Kite's gonna be chased down as Skies pops the steed. But again, he just rotates up top. He will deny the turret take.
Great response, but a better trade for Aurora Gaming Philippines. You know, you're trading out your gold laner for the roam. Light goes down, but here's Yums.
Heavy spin, pinning him down, pops in revitalize in time, but can he escape? No, the synchro vision pops him through.
They got the payback for the roam right there as they lock down Yums. So a great response once again. That turret's still gonna stay up. Third turtle of the game here in a few seconds. Now the War Axe available to Skies. He's got that. He's got his buff as well. He actually wants to go ahead and contest this though. As Demon Kite's grabbing his purple. Light's giving the information over here, but they're going to be able to rotate just in time for this turtle.
That's so much damage on Skies, half HP. AOG coming down with Raging Sandstorm from Light, and Demon Kite with the retry gets it, and pops in a Blazing Nuets.
Demon Kite's done it again, and now they're going to be going for Yums.
Cram in the midst of it all, pops in a curtain call, now going for the chase, but it's going to be the Kite away. Now it's Edward on to Stormy, forcing the flicker out as Domain goes up top. Doesn't have some on force. Light goes in over the Cram, but it gets away in time with the sprint. Meanwhile, Edward in mid again, holding Innocent and Yums down.
Ooh, it looks like SRG is just trying to catch their breath in this game 5. If it's not Demon Kite securing the objectives, it's Edward crashing on, forcing battle spells down. Light on this side of the map, behind enemy lines. There's Demon Kite.
Finds Innocent, Purify out there. Fear of the Phoenix coming down, but Domain gets the turret. Now Cram looking for the trade, pops in the curtain call. Edward in the midst of it all. Now 2-match done by Edward. Sky still able to escape with the help of the Yums. Demon Kite goes in with the headbutts.
Oh, Sakai's is gone. This is all on the side of the jungle of SRG. They'll capitalize another kill and the buff. Aurora Gaming Philippines is not letting up at all. They've got control of this game.
And with every fight they take, they push the lead a bit more towards them. It started off as a 1K gold lead. I swore in the early game, it looked like, all right, SRG are gonna scale, they're gonna try to play it slow, but then they go for these fights and you're like, okay, it looks even, some of these trades. Then Light comes in with a big Raging Sandstorm. Edward gets a big chunk of damage of AoE with the slashes.
These are some of the most comfort picks that Aurora Gaming Philippines has played in the last professional season of the MPL Philippines, and they're showcasing it here today in Game 5. And even for SRG, you could say these are comfort picks too, to an extent. But but right now they're just getting outmaneuvered around the map. And that's the power always of when you think you have this utility jungler, you can move the way you want to move around the map, you can find that lockdown that you're looking for, and it just layers so well. So for SRG, if they want to approach this in the best way possible, it's all on that scaling for Innocent. He's got to be able to get there. He still has plenty of time. He is behind though, right? You're at the 9-minute mark. Again, that Trinity for the Claude usually before the 10-minute mark. He does pick up a golden staff, so he's down 1 item on this. And that's very difficult. Here's the Lord fight though. Are they going to take it?
Light was able to bait out the passive of Stormy already. Look at how fast they're blitzing the Lord. Traction pulse over Innocent, able to bring him back, and that's Demon Kite securing Lord 1 Aurora. Pulling no stops.
Man, I don't know how you stop this Panda, man. Demon Kite on the Sakai. It's one of the better heroes. I know it's slept on in the draft, but it's still one of the better heroes to go ahead, secure objectives. If anybody gets close, you usually heavy spin them away to get that retribution off. And they're gonna take this tier 2 tower up top as Demon Kite just stares down SRG, threatening them to force a fight if they want to. Holy Crystal now online. Over here for Demon Kite. Oh, just checking things out with the Raging Sandstorm.
Wanted to bait a few resources, right? Innocent just backs away with the BMI. But again, this lead is getting to a point where it's a big problem. Like Selangor Red Giants, they have Innocent to scale. Zetian, I'm guessing as well. Traction Pulse baits out the BMI. But they don't really have a body right now. Sky's a 0-3-0. I don't think he can pull off an Edward on Yuzong type of 0-3-0, Brian.
Yeah, this is going to be way more difficult to make it worth for Cram and the rest of the team of SRG. You know, you waited 10.5 minutes. You got to start to make something happen here because you're in this last game, this game 5, with that potential chance to get to the grand final on the line here for both of these teams. But look at the difference in itemization across the board. It's tough, man. Yum's probably the closest here amongst it all. Yeah, he's only 600 gold difference, but I'll tell you what, the impact of Light right now in this Khalid is just doing so much more than what Yums is capable of doing. If that means just getting the passive out from Stormy, if that means getting some of the battle spells, and even then, the Raging Sandstorm is threat enough, and Light knows it. And that's why they're able to go ahead and play that upper hand. Also, on the gold lane, you still need so much more time for Innocent here. He's building into that Corrosive Scythe. But even so, if that Trinity is online, it's going to be a hell of a time to get into the fight, man, because of the fact that you have Nakai to worry about. You have also Light there peeling for the team or starting things up into Edward as well. So now this purple buff for the taking from SRG. You're still plenty of time, 40 seconds away from this Lord to come up.
And now SRG are forced to, again, group up together. Stick is 3 into the bottom lane. They're being starved by Aurora Gaming Philippines right now. There's no way for them to actually just brute force walk into their own jungle alone. And Light's been able to take these poke like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Stormy, this is a 100% win rate Zetian, right? Is it still a 100% win rate? I believe so. So, oh my, Innocent? PMI already. Light wants to go in. Raging Sandstorm! Innocent pops in the Blazing Duet. And he pops in a Purify as well. That's Big Edward! 2-man stun with the Bravest Fighter. Now goes back. That is all they need.
Oh, okay. Fury of the Phoenix used there too. Keeping things under control. But the Lord is up now. Battle spell down. That's the Purify for Innocent. And so, if SRG is thinking about contesting this Lord, it's probably not going to happen.
They cannot. Not without a Purify on the main man.
They just got to wait. They got to buckle in as Lord is going to be secured here for Aurora Gaming Philippines. At the 12:40-minute mark, Divine Glaive picked up now too for Demon Kite. And they have everything they need to approach the space of SRG. I'm not saying they can end it here, but with this kind of lead, 8,000+ gold at this point, this type of itemization and this composition could potentially end it off of a first Lord push.
Demon Kite, over the course of, I would say, the run to get it to upper bracket finals, has been behind against Carl Teasy in gold, losing out individually against, again, I feel like also against Izuki, losing out individually in gold. And it's usually because he's on a utility pick. Now he's on a Kai, and he's 2,000 gold ahead of Skies.
Like, who else is going to play the Akai? Other than maybe Demon Kite and, I don't know, Carl Teasy.
Can't think of anyone else who's still in MLBB.
Right? It's one of those things, yeah. There's Redmar. I can hear him in my ear, man. Redmar will probably play it too. He is him.
Gotta get that check.
Gotta get that check. There's the Lord pushing into this bottom turret. They want to go ahead and potentially force this.
Innocent already with the BMI. That's going to be the Lord taking down the base turret in the bottom lane. This is quite big, but it's not the worst for Selangor Red Giants, just because, again, Lord's going to be spawning in the bottom lane, so they'll be able to handle it here. Light!
Well, look at Sky. He's going on this off angle, too. Is he actually going to initiate a fight? From this angle, no. They cleared out the minions. Lord is cleared as well. They lost one base turret. And so this, more than anything, is Aurora Gaming Philippines knowing that they're up 10,000 gold, but sticking to mastering the basics here, man. I hate to say it, right? But they are doing exactly that. They're sticking with the basics. They're sticking to the fundamentals. And every team will go ahead and say how important that is. Even when you have this kind of lead, you can't lose that focus. And Steed.
Steven Kite in with a headbutt. That's going to be Lycon on the back spot, taunted down as well by Yums. Here the Phoenix locking him down. AOG as well onto Edward, but he is CC immune with the Bravest Spider.
Yums does not want to, okay, he doesn't have AOG. This is interesting though. SRG just kind of keeping Aurora Gaming in check, but here's the re-engage. Zaman force drop down. And it's just the answer, the response from Aurora Gaming.
How is it still so tense with a 10,000 gold lead, dude?
The crazy thing is 1-5 in terms of the kills, right? But there's this tension in this game 5 between these two teams because I just think it's at what's stake here, Miracle. It's that grand final spot. It's a huge story for both teams to get there, and SRG they understand that we got to go ahead and just buckle in. We need to go ahead and scale up. Like I said, your Innocent is nearly there. He's got to get a little bit of defensiveness, obviously. Win in nature, we've also seen Winter Crowns pop up too. Might be the case in this sense when if they can extend it. I don't know, 5+ minutes. They got to get to the 20-minute mark, I feel like here. Divine Glaive picked up by Stormy though. This fight for the Lord, it looks like they want to actually contest this Lord though, if they can.
But can they? Traction Pulse already baited out there. Light already backing away. Now the bottom wave, they have to deal with it, but Domeng and Demon Kite are still holding on to it. Selangor Red Giants say, we cannot contest. Aurora Gaming Philippines secure the Lord. Skies.
I think the Phantom Seed might have been just thrown out there just to see if he could get the orange buff. I'm not sure, but nonetheless, they knew they couldn't fight and contest. So they'd rather go ahead and defend into the base. Malefic Gun actually picked up here.
Wow.
4 Innocent might be just saying, you know what? Let's just make this defense count. Let's make this one potentially turn it around. We need a crucial defense to stay in this. As Lord makes its way down the bottom side, Conceal's going to be used.
It's going to be popped as well, though. Edward goes in with the Bravest Spider, now jumps all the way into the back line, but Innocent's able to pop in a blazing when it gets sustained. Winter Crown already from Edward, and now the base. Beauty of the Phoenix.
Oh, they get stunned here. Check, the Lord is going to be worked on.
Wow.
And it looks like SRG, even with 11,000 gold deficit, will still be able to defend.
That was... Wait, Yums takes a long route over. Cram dives onto Edward with the current call, but now he's caught in the bad spot. He has the sprint. He's able to get away. Light with the Raging Sandstorm and the Flicker. Now it's Cram turning things around with the help of Yums as well. He goes for the taunt as Innocent's right there. Domeng!
There's a jump on the defense. They want to disengage, and it looks like Aurora wants to do the same. This is the tension we've been talking about. Wow.
Folks, my heart is beating so hard right now, and it's not the Red Bull. It's not the Red Bull, it's the game.
Oh man, this game has wings. I don't know what it is. I don't even know how SRG has been able to go ahead and have such great base defense. Aurora Gaming, even playing around that Lord, man, they just haven't been able to get much use out of the Lords.
At least now it's value, because even with that Lord not getting anything,
yeah.
Look at where the next Lord placement is. It's up top, so they have the far lane control in the bottom lane without having to do anything, right? So that's a win still for Aurora Gaming Philippines. The only loss they took there is the scaling of SRG. Now, Innocent has more time to build up to either a Winter Crown, probably Winter Crown, not Win a Nature here.
Mirko, the impressive thing is SRG doesn't have anything on the map. Like, they've been able to defend in the base, Despite
Not a single turret, you're right.
That's what I'm saying. Not a single turret is down. Nothing has gone right in terms of objectives for SRG. But what has gone right is the fact that they've somehow buckled in. They're nearing that 20-minute mark, and that's where I was saying that was the crucial point for them to potentially turn a game around. That's why we always say, even when you're down this much gold, depending on how your composition is and the items that you have, you can still be a threat to this team. And that's why Aurora Gaming Philippines, we say it's discipline, but at some point, at what point do you say, man, they waited way too long. They hesitated too long to end the game. They weren't able to end the game. They love MLBB that much.
They love MLBB, dude.
Almost 20 minutes here. Lord up, evolve this time. This might be the first time that SRG actually decides to contest a Lord here, but Stormy's so far away, Light's gonna be able to spot this out as Aurora Gaming Philippines holds on to the Lord. It's under half health.
That wave's not good. Stormy has to rotate, but Light is holding this position already. They're holding it in, just barely at the edge of it. Edward with the Bravest Fighter coming down now. Skies also behind the banner. Seed Light in the back line, able to bomb into Purify. Purify Phoenix Light's gonna be caught. He's able to heal in time. Good stun by Edward. Demon can't get him, but now Cram walks in forward. Light pops in, conceal. Aurora Gaming Philippines get the Evolved Lord.
That is a massive Lord to walk in to potentially end the game. And as I've been saying for SRG, they have defended time and time again. The Giants will not have their fortress taken so easily. Can they do it again? They have to. That's the only option they have. Light still has an immortality. The Lord finally spawning and making its way down the bottom side here. How can they pull this off? SRG, they've got to almost have a miracle for this one.
They played it perfect in the last Lord fight, but it's hard to do it when it's an evolved Lord.
Yeah.
Aurora can just stack up around the Lord. And look at the turn in the mid lane, it's so low.
Half health here, under half health for that mid turret. Lord makes its way down the bot. They've got to deal with it here.
Fraction pulse doesn't land on anyone. Now it's going to be Innocent, trying to deal as much damage as possible as Edward dives into the back. Innocent pops in the blaze to win over on Edward, but this raging stack just comes through. They're fighting on the Lord. Demon Kai already using a heavy spin. That's going to be Yums jumped away from Fury the Phoenix.
Fury the Phoenix is using, they're still going.
They deal with the Lord, live with the raging sandstorm. Yums still able to survive. Innocent. BMI to the back as Doming already uses his Amon Force. Mid lane base turn with ball. How the Selangor Red Giants hold on to this game.
Selangor Red Giants won't have the base taken so easily.
Against an evolved Lord.
Man, they still do it. They don't have any space to work with. No base, no turrets down. But they're still showing that they can defend and fight against Aurora Gaming. That is an evolved Lord that was dealt with in the best way possible.
We are still at 6 kills.
That hasn't changed in a while, Miracle. I mean, 6 kills, no turrets.
When was the last time one of them died, dude?
I'll tell you what, I don't know if that's the pro of having this kind of lineup for Aurora Gaming, or for SRG, and the con of Aurora Gaming's lineup. It works so good in the beginning, but you know, at this point of the game, they're having a difficult time actually punching it in and ending it, you know? And we have seen this when it has been utility compositions and that require a setup that has to be perfect. This is the trouble. Winter Crown now available for Innocent.
And a rose gold too, nice too. He's sold his boots. He's bootless. Man's barefoot.
Barefoot Claude. A Winter Crown 2 for Sakai's. Fight with this Lord again. Look at Light's positioning. What are they going to do? Traction pulls thrown out?
Wait, Cram already used the curtain call. It's on Yue. Light has a very, very good flank on him. Zetian, does he spot him out? He's able to spot him out now as Edward goes able to stun. The Phoenix locking him down. Edward losing immortality. Now Sky's going to go in as well, but he's going to be pinned down by Demon Kai. No one's there to actually dish out damage. Skies will fall to Yue.
They take out Sakai's. They can get the Lord.
Blazing new weapon from Innocent with a Winter Crown as well. Demon Kai's going to be taken very, very low, but he's able to buy immortality in time. Doming in the back as well. Doing this with the stop. Cram still there doing damage in his heart.
Innocent's still alive, and he gets the space, but Domikai will take him out.
He got cooked by the Chrono Dash. Domang has all the shields in the world. Now it's Yums who falls. Cram has immortality. He's going to fall as well. Evolved Lord in the mid lane as Cram dishes out damage to Light, but he's going to be gunned down by Yue.
And that's going to be it. as the Lord makes its way down the mid with Aurora Gaming.
The stage that once haunted them now rises for them. The Northern Lights do not fade. It ignites the grand